Okay. Should be good to go in this game. Minor hand problems aside. That's...
We changed clothes, right? If we're going to keep that gimmick up.
I think. You know what?
You can check if you want to.
God damn it. This is not the...
Like I said, it's up to you if you want to keep that gimmick up.
This is not the fastest run of this game.
This is a negative speed run. A slow run.
Damn it. Not in here. Playing this physical Switch coffee. Damn it! Fucking button. I do that every time in this stupid menu. Hold on. Travis is drunk.
Let's be honest, he would be. Travis, you're drunk. Go home. I am home. Maybe you should use the D-pad for the menu.
You're probably right.
I think that's what I did.
I sometimes try to default to that anyway. Yeah, D-pad's a little bit better. Other than needing to kind of adjust my hand somewhat weird because of Joy-Cons, but... Yeah, we're on the...
Okay, we have everything then. Okay.
Travis, you're home, go drunk.
Okay, I have shit to rant about. Why can From Software get away with bad game design? Why does, why is Dark Souls allowed to get away with things? If those were put in any other game, people would rightfully complain that they are bad, outdated design.
Mm-hmm.
Because while Elden Ring does have online-based summons, and that's good. My biggest problem with people saying, oh, just use summons to make the game easier, is once the servers go down, you only have the in-game summons, but there isn't always an in-game summon before a boss, so that's good and fixes it, but outside of that, it still has the fucking problems Dark Souls 1 had. It still has the problems that go back to Demon Souls.
This fucking overworld.
Hey, that's one good thing about this being padding. It gives me a time to rant. Like how, oh, you motherfuckers can play.
I love this game, but I hate this overworld.
Like I said, this overworld is straight padding. It is straight padding. There is no reason it should have been here. After you beat the game, you should have had a fast travel.
As we play this on my legitimate physical Switch copy.
I know, the other thing I was going to rant out, you people can complain
Seriously though, this is a physical copy.
Yes, it is. You people can complain about Game Freak reusing animations. From Software has been reusing the same animations since Demon Souls.
Not joking.
They have been reusing the same animation since 2008.
Physical copy.
Yes.
I'll give you that.
But yeah, they just get a fucking free pass on that for some reason. But they've not just been reusing the same, they've not just been reusing the same animations, they've also been reusing the same character creator since 2008. Anyone and you were still alive? Hey, anyone else remember when Demon Souls?
Remember, as I talk about this game for a second before you go back to ranting, because this is technically a kind of weak weapon. Sometimes people just at the end of a attack might live.
I also remember when GameSpot gave Demon Souls Game of the Year for 2008, and everyone actually rightfully disagreed with them, and I find it hilarious. It's like a journalist hating a Souls, basically, no, a journalist liking a Souls-like. Back then, everyone called them stupid and was like, journalist, am I right? But now it's the exact opposite. Now it'll be made fun of for hating it.
Get good, please, man.
Even though this series is fundamentally flawed and has had the same problems for 15 fucking years.
The hell?
Alright.
The hell was that?
Alright.
I'm surprised you didn't hear the thing.
Alright.
So, you can make a point in a second. First off, fuck the fire, guys. I hate this enemy type, and that's a really, like, funny dumb thing, because that... I'll make the other point in a second. The fucking fire guys can set you on fire. Then when you're on fire, you have that...
Fire bad.
No, you have to put yourself out. This gimmick is never used again in this game, creating kind of a weird inconsistency, but to finish that other point. So, enemies make noise, but there was like a weird audio thing where it sounded like multiple guys screaming, and it had this weird reverb, and I was like, the fuck? To talk about the game, the Switch version is based more on the Wii version of the game and not the PlayStation version. So this is like a modified Wii version running on...
Like I said before, actually does kind of bother me a little, because the two good quality of life things the HD version had was, again, one, being able to save the roulette power-ups, and two, the other thing is, and because I'm I don't think I was able to say this.
I love the infinite bag.
I don't think I was able to say what the other thing was. Basically, there were a bunch of odd jobs added in the PS3 version.
Yeah.
The odd jobs that were added in the PS3 version...
And the map thing.
The odd jobs that were added in the PS3 version give you a lot of money.
They also
you, like,
cut the overworld size.
Oh yeah, that too. Which I do kind of want to agree. Like, as much as I do want to say that was good design for trimming the overworld down, but at the same time, I will acknowledge that does lead. Well, one, ironically, because the world was cut down, I believe there are a few assassin missions that are actually gone.
I have a drink.
And the other, like, there are a few assassin missions that are gone, and
This is a weird commentary mix of rambling about this game specifically from Software. Because it's so funny, especially you rambling about From Software, and I think this part where they screw up the battery.
You have the battery so you can't fight, but you move faster, so I'm okay with this because they took away your ability to deal damage, but again, you now walk a lot faster.
And you're crapping your pants. And because it breaks your sword, you're out of battery, which creates a unique...
Like I said, you can't fight, but because you can't fight, you run faster. So it's a fair balance. Make your point now.
Hold on. So, damn it, I need to make another point about something for the game. We have the infinite battery katana. When you play this normally, if you bring a weapon that does not have infinite battery, oh, it still does it.
Neat.
What?
Yeah. Anyway,
but it's a weird...
Oh, there's a bug. Hey, they give you a battery,
No,
right?
I was going to comment on that. Hold
So,
on. Is it actually out?
Can you charge?
Hold on, I want to see if it's out. Oh my god, it's out! Hold on.
Before you open that, can you charge? Oh, you still can. Yay, we do get to show manual power generation.
Once and only once. Ah!
Though another hilarious thing about that, you'll notice the weapon, it refills its battery really fast. That's another thing about this weapon, I believe, before you got the infinite battery.
I have the other, like, really fast refill. I'll make my other point in a sec. I'm sorry, that was actually cool. I'm glad we did a new game plus.
Before you anything like this weapon,
It
like,
shouldn't ever run out of battery.
No, no, I wasn't going to say that. I was going to say,
yes, but
before you get the infinite battery, this weapon was the fastest battery refill, but that's because this is the weapon with the natural lowest battery. Okay, make your point.
Because you get... Oh, damn it. I'm actually talking about the game for a second. Hold on. So, the weapons... This weapon, naturally, as you upgrade weapons, you basically get a power increase and a, like, battery, like, increase. So this weapon, because of the, battery being naturally really good...
Also, I believe it is green as a reference to Luke's lightsaber. I find it funny how his green lightsaber is the more iconic one to start with.
Well, I'll make my other point in a second. I'm just explaining... Oh, damn it, I missed. Explaining the game. I found it funny that I ran out of battery because this weapon shouldn't do that. Well, I'll make my other point in a second.
I wonder if the Wii version did that.
That was a... We actually had to show the manual power generation. And the thing about this weapon is... big group of assholes. Lesser charges are a good get off me tool, but this weapon does the flippy dippy bullshit. And generally this weapon is so fucking cracked that I can...
Early game.
What? You know what I mean.
Once you get around...
Oh, yeah, exactly how the one guy survived.
Once you get around the halfway point...
Ah.
Once you get around the halfway point, you're going to start needing the charge.
I'll make my other point in a second.
Ooh, free. God, I want to know what happens if you get free.
Oh, beam sword.
These are some chunky motherfuckers.
But... Oh yeah, beam sword guys can shoot laser beams.
No, they shoot balls.
You know what I mean. Though in the kick, which threw him off a little bit, this will kill him. Beam sword guys are actually... And of course I get them.
And like I said, this is why I wish you could, that's why I wish you could save them.
Where's the fucking help?
There's the help.
I had a fucking point, I lost it, me.
Dark Souls from software, probably something about Elden Ring because it came
wait,
out
no.
recently, which is why I've been
Pointless
ranting.
battery power up. I'm getting another drink. Hold on. Sometimes it's kind of weird to pause in a Let's Play, but I have a drink, goddammit.
Other side. Anyway, so
No, wait, I remember now. Sean, and I think this was because of Elden Ring, he posted a video. It was an older video, but this video I fundamentally disagree with. It was a video of someone perpetuating the old argument on why games... And we're at the end.
Hey, Travis. Your next ranked fight begins the moment you step into that room. Win,
Make my
and
other
you'll
point in a
rise
second.
in rank. Lose, and an even deeper circle of hell awaits. Wipe away your tears. Hit the can. Pick the color of your
I love.
When you're ready, step inside. I highly doubt you'll survive this time.
I love her commentary.
There's only one way to find out, right? Here is your best shot. I am 100% certain you're returning from this battle, Travis.
In a body bag? Yeah.
But trust your force and head for the
Garden of Madness. In the we talked about it in the original that would come out of the Wii speaker, which is cool. Anyway.
Actually, like, and I'm pretty sure that's where they got the audio recording, the raw ass audio recordings from. It could, if you turned
That off.
If you turned off the Wii speaker, it would actually play like it does here.
Yes, but you could get the Wii speaker. It was the coolest shit in the world.
Yes.
This isn't the Wii version.
Mm-hmm.
It's seriously not, though.
Mm.
We're playing on Switch. At the point, it was this video Sean posted, and it was someone going on this long-ass, just semi-pretentious, like, essay talking about why certain games just do not need an easy mode, and going on and on about how easy mode, like, adding an easy mode to a game is often a terrible idea, and they did that like, as I kind of, sort of, in my own opinion, tear that video apart, because first they did that sort of annoying hand-waving thing of like, oh, I'm not saying easy modes and accessibility options are bad, but it's like, not every game needs that kind of thing, and this goes into this side argument Carson always goes on where they said, like, a game is designed around the developer's intent. Like, they were talking about adding an easy mode if the game is intended to be hard, defeats the entire purpose, which is funny because a lot of American...
If you are going to hold up a lot of retro games as well designed, someone call a doctor because you just shot yourself in your own foot. If you are going to say anything about how Resident Evil is good survival horror because of how limited your resources are, the original English Resident Evil 1 was made harder for the rental market. I believe they cut nearly every resource in the game in half.
And messed up your controls.
Yes.
You actually had decent, like, strafing.
In the original version, when you pulled out your gun, there was an auto-aim that would snap you to the nearest target because it was...
And you had some other strafing.
Basically, they took the auto-aim out, so you have to manually turn and aim something, and against the faster enemies like the dogs and the snake balls, the game was designed to where you needed the auto-aim there, but because they took it away, it's just, like, artificially more difficult. And speaking of artificial difficulty, Shinobu is a fucking obnoxious difficulty spike, and I hate her.
But now we have the broken-ass weapon.
Though, even with this weapon, we could, like...
Yes! I forgot about that.
That's why I fucking hate her.
Forgot about that. She can counter you.
That's why I hate her. That, and the...
Yes!
Okay, we're not encountering the glitch. This fight has this weird glitch where sometimes you will be hitting her, and she will just not
Jesus Christ! Okay.
This fight has this weird glitch where sometimes you will be hitting her, and she just does not take damage. And it's not iframes, it will be making the sound like you're making actual contact, and her life just doesn't go down.
Notice that my flippy dippy bullshit absolutely break.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, damn it. Damn it.
There's the instant kill.
I was about to.
That's the other thing I forgot about in this,
It's only when she's at low health, and this is probably one of the only bosses Oh, wait, no, that was the crap ton of...
Oh, no, wait, it's her falling on the ground is the
instant kill. Hold on. This is like one of the only bosses. What was that fucking health?
Can't you pause and look at the map?
What's that in your hand?
Oh, no, I got her. Yes!
Ooh.
That's one of the only bosses I might have had trouble with.
Okay, no, there are a few bosses.
You know what the fuck? So, I was gonna comment on that Shinobu thing. In the actual game,
Finish me.
Finish you.
Don't look at me like that.
we'll go back to the difficulty rant, but...
Yeah.
I think there's
So,
been something
in the actual game,
I never fought you.
bosses
Liar.
can generally, to a certain degree, kind of ignore your attacks, but Shinobu especially has a bullshit ability to just not take damage.
Like I said, I think it's a glitch because you will be hitting her, it will be making the sound, but her life will just not.
I have had a theory about that for the longest time, and I think my theory is accurate, and it's stupid.
What?
By the time most people make it to Shinobu, they've already been to Naomi's lab, and they get the first beam katana, the Tsubaki Mark 1. And the Tsubaki Mark 1 is that really fast weapon that basically has stun programming on every hit. Because the weapon is stun-based, and bosses are generally supposed to be anti-stun, I think that her super armor is saying no stun, no stun, no stun, no stun, like, every time you hit her. And that's stupid. I think that's what's going on. I think it's the stun thing. Where the Tsubaki Mark 1 is a
I
fast...
feel like I feel like because of that...
No, you did!
Didn't I swap to the default?
I remember... First off, yeah, she's over here, which is funny. She's not dead.
Yes.
It's just unrelated. Just wanted to show that. Okay. No, you actually did change up the weapon and had a slightly better time, but Shinobu...
But even having a slightly better time, I still had, I still had a bit of a thing where she seemed to not take damage. It's kind of hard to find, but if you go looking around the internet, you can find a few other people having a similar problem.
Yeah.
Though a funny thing, that weird, in some cases, sort of bug where she seems to stop taking damage and after a bunch of hits will only lose like 1 HP seemed to more exist in the PS3 version. But so I don't know.
Though this goes into just a fucking side tangent that I had wondered about, and I'm happy to actually see happen, which is that final beam katana, the Mark III, that really long flippy dippy bullshit, just seems to absolutely ignore.
Oh, if you didn't have the infinite, if you didn't have the infinite
battery,
that takes like half the battery. You can only do like 2 of those.
Yes, but you saw what it did.
And that's why you can normally only do like 2 of those.
Yeah, but I actually pay for the infinite battery. So, trying to go back to the other fucking point for ASAP.
Oh, like a funny thing, and like I said, Shinobu being the part where we talk about the difficulty thing is oddly fitting, because even playing that boss as intended, and again, this is a problem I have with like all of the bosses in this game, I think all of the bosses are hard for artificial difficulty because they all have a fuckload of health and a fuckload of iframes, so it just makes fighting them tedious. I don't feel accomplished when I beat any of them because you basically just it's effectively just repeating the same strategy for 10 minutes. Find the one opening to get your one combo in and then keep repeating until the boss dies.
In addition, we have faxed you some information about the rankings in case you wish to continue your ascent. Please transfer the money into the designated account.
That, when we're talking about the actual game, because the thing about the fucking bosses and stuff, and this is, like, really, you know, funny. We'll just go down the list. Oh, yeah, that one. That's cool. It's time for the question of the day and my overall thoughts on the topic. So, anyway, I thought this topic would be quick and interesting, maybe a bit controversial, and then I have a bit of a bonus question as well, but I wanted to focus the main question on the controversial thing because I know I will go on a rant. But anyway, without further ado, how many of you agree with the point I was trying to make about difficulty? Because I follow up that rant in the next part as well, at least a little bit. In general, that video Sean posted bothered me because I think that video is hilarious and hypocritical. Because hard games are always the games where people are basically like, oh, the intent of the creators is to make the game hard. Making the game easy defeats the purpose. So therefore, it's bad to add an easy mode that goes against the creator's intent. But then, if you take a game where the creator intended the game to be easy, oh, that's stupid. That idiot doesn't know what they're talking about. The game should be harder. Dark Souls can never be easy because it goes against the creator's intentions. And yet, Pokemon was intended to be easy. Oh, those idiots don't know what they're talking about. Pokemon should be harder. Because if Pokemon is harder, the real fans get the experience we want. Why are they making Pokemon easy? That's dumb. What's the point of this? It's hypocritical. It's fucking hypocritical. And I also think, fuck intentions. Having a game be easy is fine. And Sean and Brian always do that obnoxious, too many cooks in the kitchen ruin the broth, but that's not a thing in the sense of fucking difficulty. Making a game easier and making a game harder by having accessibility options or at least different sliders are fine. Let people make a game how they want it without being a condescending asshole about it. And at the time, Sean linked that video. I think that video is pretentious and stupid, and I remember that now. Because this recording was years ago, but this rant I'm going on is recorded the day I decided to edit. All of these questions are recorded the day I edit the footage. So, this is up to date. I'm recording this rant in 2026. I think the point here is good, even if I know people will overreact. Dark Souls having an easy option wouldn't ruin the game. The too many cooks in the kitchen ruin the broth is such a stupid argument for difficulty. Or different types of sliders where you can make a game easy or hard. Because that doesn't ruin anything, even if the intent is a hard game for hard men. Just let me play the game with easier options without being a condescending douche about it. This is why I'm incredibly conflicted with that new game, Mina the Hollower, because that game prided itself on, oh, you have all of these different options. Play the game your way. But if you enable most of that, it disables achievements and it disables the in-game achievements. So, middle finger, fuck you. Sorry, we can't be having you cheating to get the achievements, you cheater. Let people get achievements. Also, if you're going to be that butthurt about it, if I enable something that disables achievements, let me get achievements if I cut it off, because that is such a stupid fucking idiotic. Oh, sorry. You enabled the accessibility stuff. Your save file is forever fucked. You want achievements? Play the game legit. But I cut it off. Yes, but you cut it on, but it's off. But you cut it on, you asshole. Stupid. It's fucking stupid. All the options in Mina the Hollower are cool. And hell, there are options where you can make the game harder, which I also think is neat. But if I enable something that makes the game easier, let me get an achievement if I cut that shit off, if you're really going to be stupid assholes about voiding achievements, which, in my mind, goes against having all the different options anyway. But I'm not going to go on that full rant. I just think options in a game are fine, easier or harder, because if you want Pokemon to be harder, but you don't want Dark Souls to be easier, you're being hypocritical and stupid. But with that said, I think I went on a long enough rant. Now, for the bonus question, what is your general opinion on the Shinobu fight? And did any of you run into that weird problem Curzon was talking about? Because that does exist. Also, as a second bonus question, do any of you actually know what causes that? Because I think I'm slightly right, but I don't know. I never looked into that. I know what the fuck he's talking about, but I think the bosses in this game are janky anyway. Because the bosses want you to do combos and stuff, except the game never actually needed you to do combos. You can play through the game without engaging with the combo system, and then the bosses are like, fuck you, if you didn't learn the arbitrary combo system, you're never going to win. It's dumb. So I like the New Game Plus because I can invalidate the bosses because they're way too fucking spongy. But I do need to stop. I think I said my piece there. Her fight's obnoxious in a regular playthrough because of what Curzon was bitching about, which is valid. And without infinite battery, you need to constantly recharge. Then you have that combo system issue, and I don't like that because the game never makes you engage with that. And I know someone is going to bring up that the dudes with the beam swords technically are designed around you doing the high and low combo thing, and that if you didn't pick that up with the nuance, you're a brainlet, or you're dumb, or you're just making excuses. And some of the other people with heavier weapons, that's also kind of useful against, but I don't feel the game really explains that well. And as a quick bonus rant, I hate when a game is built around mechanics, and instead of actually explaining the mechanics, they want you to work out those mechanics, because not everyone is going to realize that No More Heroes has a high and low system to actually chain combos, and you're supposed to mix high and low attacks to do long chains, because if you repeat only high or only low, the game heavily punishes you. And the punishment is the game considers your moves repetitive. And repetitive damage is basically the game trying to punish you for spamming, but that's the thing. You can get away with spamming, except in boss fights and against some of the beefier enemies, but I've gone on enough rants. You can leave your thoughts, opinions, and answers in the comments, or you can leave them on social media. All of my social media links, as well as my Discord links, are in the video description. Now, as always, I need to be a shill for a minute if you subscribe to the channel. If you follow me on social media, that really helps our communities grow. But anyway, I hope you all enjoyed the video, and I hope I will see you all next time. So as always, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night, everybody. I hope you come back someday. See you later.